Hey guys, this is Zishan from ultimateofftimes.com. Today we are going to talk about the Splatoon 3 review of Splatoon 3 with info on the story, gameplay mechanics, and everything else you need to know before you buy. The Splatoon 3 Direct was packed with big announcements, ranging from new movement mechanics to an entirely new battle mode, all of which will improve the series and make it even more exciting. Splatoon is a game about inking foes and regaining land. It is centered on entities known as Inklings, who may be changed into either a humanoid or a cephalopod form. Players can pick between becoming an Inkling or an Octoling as their playable character. Both use weapons that fire colored ink. Rollers, for example, are enormous paint rollers that can cover a wide area with ink but are normally confined to close-range fighting. At the same time, chargers are long-range sniper rifle-like weapons that are less effective at painting the ground. Splatoon 3 expands on this by including new primary and special weapons. Splatoon's main weapons are loaded with different colored inks that players may shoot within the humanoid form or swim through as squids, rather than typical guns and bullets. These designs, together with the in-game Splatfists, combine to make the Splatoon series an ideal multiplayer game. Salmon Run. The Salmon Run is a Splatoon 2 multiplayer co-op scenario in which 1 to 4 players labor at Grisco Industries to gather power eggs by splatting approaching salmonids in 3 waves. To satisfy the requirement in each wave, the player gathers unique power eggs known as golden eggs. The colors of the player's attire are orange, green, and white, and their pen is orange, blue, pink, or purple, whereas the salmonids utilize green ink. Turf War. Turf War is a 3-minute battle mode that can be found in both Splatoon and Splatoon 2. It is considered a regular battle. Players must ink the most turf to win the match, and are separated into 2 teams of 4 Inklings, Octolings. Salmon Run Next Wave. Salmon Run Next Wave is the sequel to Splatoon 3 Second Salmon Run. It is a multiplayer co-op game for 2-4 people, similar to the original Salmon Run in Splatoon 2. The task at hand is to vanquish the boss salmonids and gather their golden eggs. As of June 2022, the purpose of these gathered golden eggs was unclear. The Crater. The Crater is a single-player game mode. It entails the player wearing a hero suit and traveling into Alterna to combat the Octarian army once more. The Crater Alterna works in almost the same way as the preceding hero mode and Octo expansion, with the inclusion of additional opponents and systems. As the tale continues, the player is given many weapon options. Tricolor Turf War. Splatoon 3 Seconds Tricolor Turf War is a 3-minute fighting mode that can only be played once. It is classed as a regular battle. To win the match, players must ink the most grass and be divided into 3 teams. The current winning team will be made up of 4 players who will play on opposing sides. In the meantime, the other 2 teams will attempt to obtain the Ultra Signal. The gameplay. Third-person shooter game, Splatoon 3. Inklings and Octolings may also change into squid or octopus shapes, known as the swim form, which can be utilized to climb ink-covered walls or swim through ink quicker than humanoid forms can walk. Weapons have a limited supply of ink ammo, and swimming in it recovers it faster than in humanoid form. Splatoon 3 will feature all of the basic weapons from previous Splatoon games. Regular battles pit 2 teams of 4 players against each other to cover the greatest area of the map with their respective ink color. In exchange, each side can cover a region covered by the opposite team with their color, while the opposing team's ink slows mobility, progressively gives damage, and stops the player from using their swim form. Each player is given a weapon set before each battle, and each set includes secondary and special weapons in addition to the main weapon. Secondary weapons, such as splat bombs that explode a second after contact with a surface and burst bombs that detonate upon hit, allow additional methods of assaulting the opposing side and inking the ground. When a player's ink has covered enough territory, they may employ a unique weapon, which is mostly used to attack the enemy team. Weapons and other types of assault can inflict harm on enemy players. When enough damage is delivered, they will splat their opponent, forcing them to restart from the beginning. Matches last 3 minutes, and the side that covers most of the field at the conclusion is proclaimed the winner. The characters. Shiver. Shiver has pale skin, thin light red lips, red eyes with light red pupils in the shape of an infinite symbol, 2 eyelashes on each side without the mask-like black markings that other Octolings have, red eye makeup under her eyes, and red-colored fingers. She has the same teeth and ears as the playable Octolings, but her ears are colored red at the ends, and she has 3 piercings with shark tooth earrings, as well as blue-purple tentacles with darker tips and that flip at the ends, obscuring the left eye and matching triangular eyebrows. She is dressed in a sarashi underneath a transparent purple shawl, black leggings with side cuts, and black thong shoes with red wedge soles. She had a foldable fan with her. Marina Ida. Marina appears in Splatoon 3 wearing an orange-blue pantsuit with the coat open to show her sports bra, black gloves, and black-blue high heels. Her tentacles have the same haircut but are now a dark shade of purplish brown with glittering blue borders, similar to Alice's hair. and her fingers and toes are pointed and blue at the points. Fry is a dark brown-skinned inkling. She has golden eyes with cross-shaped orange pupils. Furthermore, she has an eyelash on both of her eyes. Her finger and toe tips have a vivid purple color. A little lock may be found lower down her right side. She's got orange headgear on. Fry has trapezoidal golden brows. She has long, pointy ears with 3 piercings and eel-tooth earrings on the left. Her costume consists of a sleeveless bright yellow turtleneck crop top underneath a little yellow translucent shawl draped over her shoulders, white loose slacks with purple trim on the left side, and white tola socks. Inklings are a fictitious species of squid-like humanoids that serve as the customizable characters in the games Splatoon and Splatoon 2. Inkopolis is home to the Inklings. They will not perish as the main protagonists, but will readily resurrect after being splatted. When the game initially begins, the player is offered the choice of selecting between genders, eye colors, and skin colors. These can be modified later using the options menu. They also lack bones. Some may believe they have an alternative, such as cartilage. Inklings are claimed to have a gene that permits them to perceive specific colors in specific ways. Squid Sisters. The Squid Sisters, consisting of cousins Callie and Marie, are an idol Inkling pop duo based in Inkopolis. They used to host the Inkopolis News Show, which announced events, new DLC, and other battle-related news. They used to organize and run Splatfests. Katie.Pop and Mary Kakuma are their respective voice performers. They feature as an assist trophy in the Super Smash Bros. Series. While singing Ink Me Up or Calamari incantation, they will force the screen to zoom in on them. Furthermore, the Squid Sisters are a legendary support spirit in said game, causing the player's final smash meter to charge faster. Pearl Hazuki. Pearl is an Inkling with pink accents on her short, shoulder-length cream hair. She also has a cream-colored crown on her head with pink points. Her eyes are golden in hue, as are the majority of Inklings. She is dressed in a white sleeveless dress with a high neck and a golden zipper that is pulled all the way up. Pearl also wears pink tights and white boots with gold zippers that are pushed up, similar to her dress. She also sings while holding a microphone. Pearl resembles the stereotype of a pop princess. Callie is dressed in a somewhat altered version of her outfit from the original game, but in different colors. She is now dressed in a black dress with a shiny texture as if it were covered in sequins. 3 yellow markings are seen on the front. She wears white tights, black gloves, and a little, white, pointed neck ornament that resembles a shirt collar with this attire. Callie is wearing a pair of black wedge shoes with a leather-like texture, and a dazzling white substance on the bottom. She now has a yellow and black ikayaki cap on her head, as well as a white, black ribbon over her breast. Her tentacles have become black, with a yellowish tint at the tips. Agent 3. Agent 3 is the main Inklings in Splatoon and Splatoon 3 second single-player modes, Hero Mode, and the player's character in multiplayer games. They can be male or female, with different hair and eye colors based on the player's personalization preferences. Octolings. Octolings are a subspecies of Octarians and the octopus counterpart of Inklings in their army. They are frequent adversaries in Octo Valley and Octo Canyon, appearing in both special missions where they are the only foes and standard missions where they are the only enemies. Octolings that have been sanitized appear in the Octo expansion. Elite Octolings are tougher versions of normal Octolings. Elite Octolings, as opposed to regular Octolings, have green kelp, suggesting that they are more challenging. Harmony. Harmony is a character in the Splatoon series. She is a sea anemone that sings for the band Chirpy Chips in Splatoon and Splatoon 2, and operates the General Shop Hotlanties in Splitsville in Splatoon 3. Prior to Splatoon 3, she was unidentified in languages other than Japanese. She is joined by an unknown clownfish in her hair. According to Hikara Walker, it is dying as a result of negligence. Splatoon 3 character customization. From a single-player adventure featuring Callie and Marie to multiplayer turf war and splatfests aplenty, Splatoon 3 character customization will allow you to be the game's most fashionable Inkling. We know that when you initially create a character, you may select a style rather than a gender, like in prior games. Then you may select their hairdo and eye color. Eye color has many more possibilities in Splatoon 3, like having numerous colors for different portions of the eye instead of simply solid colors and squid skin kid's tone. This implies that all squids and octolings may utilize all customization choices, regardless of gender, thus you won't be arbitrarily barred from specific haircuts based on the type of character you're making. You have control over your character's clothing, including legwear, headgear, shoes, and shirts. Splatoon 3 will include a total of 12 stages. These levels will contain maps from Splatoon 1 and 2, as well as 5 brand new stages created specifically for Splatoon 3. Inkblot Art Academy from Splatoon 2, Sturgeon Shipyard from Splatoon 2, Macamart from Splatoon 2, Wahoo World from Splatoon 2, Hammerhead Bridge from Splatoon 1, Museum Delfincino from Splatoon 1, Mahai Mahai Resort from Splatoon 1, Scorch Gorge, Eeltail Lit, Hagglefish Market, Undertow Spillway, Mincemeat Metalworks, Weapons and Customization. Splatoon 3 has 3 distinct weapon types. The first is a player's primary weapon, which they will use during a match. These include the more basic paint weapons from previous games, as well as a few new ones for the third game, such as the Tri-Stringer, a bow that can discharge 3 huge globs of paint at once. Another new major weapon for those who want to get up and personal is the Splatana Wiper, a window wiper that also functions as a katana, shooting ink with each slash. There are other sub-weapons, such as splat bombs, curling bombs, and burst bombs, which were all showed off at Splatoon 3 Second's Nintendo Direct earlier this month. Splatoon 3, like its predecessors, does not support split screenplay, and the multiplayer modes are all contained within self-contained maps. Splatoon 3 has a lot of recognizable elements, which is part of why I'm looking forward to it so much. With a half-decade gap, returning to this ink-obsessed series will feel like a breath of fresh air compared to the shooters that are released year after year. And there are new ideas being added into improvements, and new twists like the 3-way Splatfest. When Splatoon 2 participants join the third game, Nintendo will give them extra incentives. According to Nintendo's Splatoon 3 website, people who have Splatoon 2 save data will be able to transfer the information when they start Splatoon 3 and receive unique in-game advantages and awards. 3 gold Sheldon licenses may be swapped for primary weapons in Splatoon 3, granting the user access to whatever equipment they wish regardless of level. AMD's Fidelity X Super Resolution technology is used in Splatoon 3. Players take on the role of weird humanoid squids and fight using ink-shooting weaponry. Modes include 4v4 Turf War, Cooperative Salmon Run Next Wave, and Single-Player Hero Mode. New weaponry, levels, and customization possibilities will also be included in the future release. AMD's FSR technology is an upscaling technique. FSR employs its own technique to upscale a picture that has been generated at a lesser resolution, minimizing GPU burdens while boosting the resolution supplied to the player. This enables for faster frame rates. Splatoon 3 will most likely aim for a consistent 60 frames per second. This was accomplished in Splatoon 2 through the use of varying resolutions. But with FSR, we may be able to anticipate greater resolutions in Splatoon 3. Players may now access photo mode to photograph their characters and their environment. These photographs may be shared on social media, sent to friends, or used as locker decor. Splatoon 3 will be available for the Nintendo Switch on September 9, 2022. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. So, just click the like button below, and also to watch more videos from us. Just subscribe to Ultimate of Times and also join our forum to build a gaming community.